And welcome to the No Kidding Podcast. My name's Lisa.
My name's Lisa, so there's two of us.
Hi.
Welcome. I'm interviewing myself today.
And I'm very smart.
Of course you are. Your name is Lisa.
Oh, well, you're just delightful.
well, thank you.
Well,
I like you.
of course you do. I'm Lisa.
This is a lame.
Oh, God.
The dogs are going crazy. Maybe we should just put Starbuck and Oliver on the podcast together and step away.
Yeah, a dog versus cat podcast. Because Oliver's a cat, as we
Of course, obviously.
as we discovered last time. The twist ending of last episode. You know what also happened at the ending of last episode?
I forgot to put in my riddle.
Right. Yep. Do you want
But what else
to
happened?
throw it there at the top of the podcast?
I do. But what else happened at the end of last one? We should end last one first. So
we didn't talk enough about video games. So have you played The Witness? That's the one I was trying to think of.
I've heard of that game, actually. But no, I haven't played it.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of with the shadows and the unique solving of puzzles and walking around. Very chill. You're just kind of unlocking stuff. Haven't played all the way through it, but it looks interesting.
The Witness. Okay.
Also, personal recommendation. I don't know if this can be really considered. I guess it's a puzzle game. Stanley Parable.
Okay.
I think you've heard of this. You've heard of this, right? Stanley Parable? This is a household name to you?
No.
No, you've never heard of the
Definitely
Stanley Parable?
Okay, I don't know that I've never heard it, but it's definitely not a household name.
Okay, well, you should play it. It's good. What else
What's
do
it
I have here?
about?
Oh, yeah. Huh? What's it about?
Are you just listing games to play, or are you going to tell us?
Well,
about?
these are puzzle games that I think they have a bit of mystery to them, and I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
And they're
I see this.
relatively
It's an
relaxing.
experimental, narrative-driven first-person game. Okay. Here's the thing. Mike seems, and this might be, I don't know. Some people think that I enjoy narrative games with stories.
Okay.
I do not.
This is incorrect.
This is incorrect because, again, this might go right back to the Disney song situation, but with video games and narrative storytelling, it throws me off. It just, I don't know.
Wait, so
I can't get into it.
You were saying last time that the music in a Disney musical or musical in general brings you out of the story, and now you're saying that the story brings you out of the story?
It brings me out of the gameplay, because with a movie you're trying to what's the word, just like evolve into the movie and become like you're just sitting back and watching things unfold. But with a video game, you're having to be actively engaged and you're working on a solution to a problem. And when you're doing that and you get interrupted with a story, you're like, it's the same thing when I'm working on my computer, or I'm working on a job, or I'm working on anything that I'm involved in, and then somebody walks in and starts talking to me. I'm like so thrown off, and it's hard to get back on track. It's the same when I'm working out. If I'm working out and then somebody interrupts me, I'm like, oh, you just threw off my whole rhythm, like my whole. It has to do with maybe my motivation or my.
I think perhaps you should give it a try. It's going to be very different. Stanley Parable is a very different type of narrative game than other games. It is the story kind of happens around you, and it doesn't really interrupt in the sense that you seem to be.
Okay, so it's not like it might not be like other games.
How do you feel about 2D side scrollers? Like Mario World.
Not bad. Yeah, I don't mind them.
Okay, well, Fez is another fun, just kind of side-scrollery, puzzly sort of thing. There are puzzles.
Fez? Now that's a name for a game. I like that name.
F-E-Z. Easy to remember.
Fez. He's a what?
F-E-Z. It's easy to remember.
Oh, easy to remember. I thought you said F-E-Z. He's a robot.
F-E-Z.
Like, that's a cute name. Cute name for a robot. Yeah.
F-E-Z. Fez.
I think we got it. I think, we've officially
how do you feel about
learned how to
geese?
spell. Geese?
Geese.
Like the birds?
Yeah, like the bird.
I mean, they're kind of mean.
Exactly.
But they're pretty.
You're going to love Untitled Goose Game. It is a game where you are a goose, an ornery goose, and you go around and solve puzzles by messing with humans trying to go about their day.
Oh, I've seen this. I have seen this. I think I watched it, somebody else playing it, maybe on Twitch or something, and it was hilarious.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Another one that's hilarious and super fun, and I would suggest playing it co-op with
a friend that I don't have. Okay. Cool.
Right, exactly. You're gonna need one of these things called a friend. They're not as cheap as a controller, but you will also need a second controller.
Well, I'll have to pay them handsomely for my.
Human Fall Flat. It's a great one.
That's a weird name for a game.
Oh, it fits the game. Don't worry. It is a bizarre thing. And I also suggest that you enable the experimental feature of taking a webcam photo of yourself and pasting it onto your character.
What? Why? What does that do?
You just have like this little jelly bean like character, and it just makes it 1,000 times funnier if you see your own face on it.
Oh, okay, I see. That's pretty funny.
It's fantastic.
All right.
And then
great recommendations.
Yeah, I just kind of out of left field. This one's more on the work simulator side. A lot of people like Stardew Valley. That's another chill one. But that one's much more narrative, so maybe you wouldn't like it.
Stardew Valley?
Stardew Valley.
Cool. What's that one about? You don't have a
It's like I said, kind of work simulator. You're basically working on a farm. Right. Remember that old Facebook game everybody used to play? What's it called?
Yes, the farm. Yeah, the farm.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, but with more of a point and an end. And well, I guess I'm not sure. I haven't played the game, but it's a very popular game. I am aware of the story, the narrative, if you will, and it's actually seems pretty good. Cool story, but if you don't want if you don't want any of that cool story, bro, just back off.
Just skip it. All right. Nice follow-up from last week.
Yep, that's my follow-up. Now for the riddle.
The riddle for you. Okay. Now, if you've heard this riddle, don't give it away to the people who haven't. But,
it's the Sphinx. It's always the Sphinx.
We're going to put the riddle up on Instagram at some point, too. So, go over there and answer it. And if you get it right, I'll share you and I don't know.
It's man because nice. He has his cane as the third leg when he's old.
You got it right. Okay, so the one who makes it sells it, the one who buys it never uses it, and the one who uses it doesn't know they're using it.
And the one who smelt it dealt it.
Always.
That's my favorite.
When is that
riddle.
Never the case? Whoever smelt it dealt it. When is that not the case? Who deals it and then just never smells it?
Unless
they're walking away, I guess.
I think it's more who announces it, because they're like, I smell a fart. I wonder who did that. And then people are like, hey, whoever smelt it dealt it.
Of course, they're trying to say it.
So somebody, dealt it, smelt it, and then just stay quiet.
Exactly, but in reality, the first person to smell it is usually the person,
right?
Because it's closest to you. Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe they just don't know. Maybe they have a irritable bowel syndrome or something, and they just let one go without realizing it. And, they're like, well, maybe I did deal it.
That's true. If it's just such a constant thing that they don't even pay attention anymore. Mm-hmm. Wait, was that me? I don't know.
Was it a hippopotamus? Did I get it right?
Never. Was it a hippopotamus? That's a very unusual guess, and I'm going to have to say no.
You're going to have to say, re-listen to that segment of the podcast.
Yeah, re-listen. Go back.
Reevaluate yourself.
And your choices in life. And then move forward with all new hope.
You're not saying reevaluate all your life choices, but maybe look in the mirror.
Maybe take a hard look at your choices leading up. This is crazy, right? If you think about your choices up to this moment, you think about all those choices Lisa, that you could have made differently and ended up somewhere completely
You're giving someone an existential crisis. Calm down.
I think about
Somebody's listening to this podcast trying to let go. They're being sucked down into the rabbit hole.
To that person, you've made all the right choices. There's no other choice. Fate brought you here.
Fate has brought you to this podcast. Got one.
Okay? Even if you think it was a bad choice, it was the right choice.
Because you're here now.
And because you're here
and
now.
Andrew and Lisa are going to take care of you.
Right. Every choice that anybody has made that has led them to this podcast, you're golden. I mean, your life is going to be amazing from here on out. So you've reached...
Absolutely glorious.
You've reached heaven on earth.
Yes,
so.
You've reached enlightenment. This is the Dharma Initiative. Please press this button every so often.
Now, when I can say that with a straight face and not laugh, then it might be true.
Maybe.
So you're engaged.
Oh, what? Who told you that?
I was going to say married to bring the people down. So when you say, no, actually, I'm not married. I'm just engaged.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I mean, like...
Startled there.
You left me out of the process.
It's like, how much time is in between these recordings?
Yeah, right.
Wow. I am. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
You didn't actually say congratulations, but thank you. Thank you anyway. Thank you for not saying
it. It's assumed.
Thank you for not saying it. Then you had to go and
Thank
say
you for being the one person in my life that did not say it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It was a wonderful process. I mean, the past 10 years, it's been a wonderful process.
Leading up to this moment.
Getting to know another human being and their soul and being like, love it. More, please.
That is so sweet. Is that what you said up on the mountain?
Yep. And then I was like, so anyways, what I'm getting at is, marry me?
That's what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Oh, and she couldn't resist.
Exactly. Who could? I mean, after that explosion of affection. Genuine
affection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This 10-year process, it's been something.
Yeah.
And I'd like more, so what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yep. I tied some twigs together around her finger, and now we are to be wed.
Now, with these twigs, did you also tie them to your finger?
No.
Or are you still...
That would be a wedding, and then...
How did you tie twigs? Wouldn't they break?
Are
they not?
They were wet twigs?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay. And now you are to be wed. That is amazing news for the podcast.
It really is. It is quite wonderful.
And for me.
But mostly for me.
I think it's mostly for me, because when I heard... No, I'm just kidding.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I can't believe it. Your brother's getting married. That's amazing news.
I know. I was so happy. So anyway, yeah. Back to you.
So there's going to be some changes around here. Now that I am betrothed,
the man of the house,
gentleman, you're going to need to start treating me with more respect. First of all, yeah, no more of this flippant behavior from you, and also wedding gift. Where is it? Come on.
Oh, you're a loser.
You better. I just said. This is even more disrespect. All right.
I don't know. What does engagement make official? It makes official that you're going to officially be official.
Exactly. It's a very roundabout process, but it's important, It's like, hey, locking it in.
I think the purpose of an engagement maybe is to mentally prepare yourself for the actual thing.
Right. I mean, you don't just jump
into that.
Well, It's also kind of a stage where, you're going to be like planning a wedding and talking about like, oh, by the way, I don't know if anybody knew this, but we're getting married and you're all about to get some invites. And I hope you're okay with that, by the way. And yeah, so I feel like this is a stage to be like, hey, everybody, it's happening.
Put some money aside now.
It's happening. No, it's going to be all expenses paid. It's going to be in Aruba. You're going to be,
awesome.
We're going to fly you out.
Now we're talking.
There's going to be a buffet of filet mignons and open bar, of course. And it's all going to be on a cruise ship just off the coast. But don't worry about like any COVID issues because I certainly am.
Okay.
There's, we're going to rent out the whole thing. So
amazing.
Everyone's going to get tested before they're allowed on board. And we're going to...
I like how you keep saying we.
We're going to have... a 3-year circle around the globe. And, you're welcome to come and go as you please if you got to go to work. But
okay.
anytime you need to come back, a weekend trip, I'll fly you. All expenses paid.
Wow. How are they going to get on there, though? Like with a helicopter?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well,
you parachute?
That's how you'll get off. But to get on, they'll just fly over and you'll parachute on.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Free skydiving lessons.
Best wedding ever.
Thank you.
Who's invited?
I was worried that, there would be a few other people that had cooler weddings, but I think I pretty much outdid, everybody.
I think you've topped the charts. But the one thing you do have to worry about is double booking your wedding with someone else. And then what?
Well, then
that poor couple's nobody's going to be there.
That's the thing. That's how you assert your dominance. This is chicken. It's like, hey, as the date approaches, it's like, better move.
Yeah.
You better move. And then
3 years.
And then we test.
I can do that.
Then we test, people's loyalty if we both stay.
True. Now I don't want to seem ungrateful.
Okay.
But with this 3-year
cruise around the world,
journey
starting
around
in
the
Aruba.
world. Now, are you going to be in the boat the whole time? Or are we stopping at different countries and getting out and enjoying it? Or is it just like we're on the boat for 3 years?
Yeah. So the boat actually unfolds into a pier that will automatically just let you out onto the beach. And actually it slightly sinks the wings into the water and creates a fake beach on the real ocean for you to...
The wings?
Yeah. It's a whole intricate design. It's very futuristic.
Is it transformative?
Yeah,
it's Transformer?
It's Transformer. Very...
Comes to life?
Yeah, and then the whole boat unfolds into like a little resort on the water with a little sandbar that goes back to... that goes to land. And then you can experience the Canadian wildlife or wherever we go.
This is epic. Okay, so now this comes back to my gratitude situation.
Sure.
Now, you said in this, if you rewind, you said we could come and go if we need to go to work. And I'm just saying, like, if you're paying for all this other stuff, why not just pay our salaries?
Ooh, yeah, that's pricey. I don't know if I can swing that. I mean, come on, Lisa, be reasonable.
So it's all about entertainment. It's not about practicality.
That seems... I'm going to write... You know what? I'm going to write that on my vision board. I'm going to write that exact quote on my vision board. I'm going to put it there. The vision board is how all this is going to happen, by the way. You might think, he's broke. He can't do any of this. But with a vision board...
I'm telling you, vision boards have power.
If I visualize it and really, like, empower myself with the vision...
You can build a baseball field. That's true.
No, that's Angels in the Outfield.
Okay. Oh.
But...
Right.
Yeah. Or Catcher in the Rye or something. I don't know.
No, you're right. Yeah, if you really visualize it, that's called manifestation.
Mm-hmm. Manifest destiny.
And I believe...
And that's how America happened. So if that can exist, it's an inspiration to us all, really.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah. Don't ask the native population here.
So that's amazing, though. Like, that you're going to take your vision. And I'm assuming... Okay, now, with this in mind, this makes me think that it's going to happen in, like, 10 years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You might think that.
Is there a short-term vision board?
Yeah, that's just going to be, like, a normal wedding. And it's going to be, soonish.
Cool.
Relatively enough, just this right amount of time that, COVID won't be here. Crossing my fingers.
Right. Well... On your long-term vision board, you said you had to check everybody for COVID, so...
Yeah.
That sounds like it's not going to be that long.
Well, COVID's forever now, so...
Oh, okay. True.
This is the new world order. We're all inside. Okay. Nobody talks to each other. It's kind of great.
All right. Cool.
Except for people being afraid of death every time they end up in large spaces. Or small spaces with large people.
It's just life now. Fear every day.
Really?
We got to deal with it. Pretty much. Yeah. Maybe. No, I don't know.
I mean, as long as you sanitize, I feel like we're good.
Oh, okay. So you're saying no fear.
I mean,
like the shirts.
I mean, I'm coping, I would say.
Oh, good.
So I hope you're doing all right over there.
Coping is what we strive for.
Yeah.
We want to just be able to cope.
Maximum copage is what's happening over here.
Maximum copage. Okay, good.
Yep.
So that is one amazingly great thing that's happened during this year. So everybody's like, 2020 is the worst year, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Because somebody got engaged.
One person. It was only me.
The only important
because
person.
Everybody else is waiting to see how all this shakes out. But I was like, nah, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to book stuff because all the wedding people are available.
That's right. That's true. There are a lot more available now. So
there you go.
Take advantage, I guess.
They're also broke, though, because they missed a whole year of work. So
that's everyone.
They're kind of starving for that.
Maybe our economy will just like regress to earlier times. Everybody will become minimalist.
Oh, like barter system? Like, here's 10 coconuts. I would like a TV, please.
Right.
I think that's how the ancient Mesopotamians did it.
Oh, okay. We'll be like that.
Sure.
Until COVID's over. And then
let's check Hammurabi's code.
What is that?
Let's check Hammurabi's code. See what the
Hammurabi's code.
Yeah, see what the laws are surrounding trade.
Okay. Let's see. Laws around trade.
That's a anthropology joke for you.
Oh, okay. So I didn't get it. I didn't get that joke because I'm not an anthropology buff, but
glad you're self-aware. Who is, though?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I watched the funniest video the other day. It's funny because it's funny because it's funny, but it's funny that I just watched it the other day because it's kind of an old video.
Okay.
Let me look it up so that I can give this guy credit.
Credit?
But it was history of the world, I guess. And it was probably one of the most informative videos I've ever seen. And it's so funny because the guy is just so impartial to the topic he's covering so diligently.
What do you mean? Like he's saying it like it's no big deal?
So, yeah, kind of. But also, it's got like this weird, like, I guess I'll call it like 80s aesthetic in a weird way. And it's like, he's just kind of like running through like really fast just the entire history of the entire world and all of its civilizations and people and how they came to be. And it's History of the Entire World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz.
I guess. That doesn't give you much.
It's a 20-minute video that less than 20 minutes that goes through the entire. It's actually really the history of the universe. So It's pretty impressive and well worth.
That would be impressive to put it all into 20 minutes.
Well worth a watch if you haven't seen it. But I'm guessing you probably have because it's got 99 million views. So
wow.
You know, it's a classic at this point. Let's see how old it is. It was 2017. Wow. So not that old, but it does seem like everyone's seen it already. So never mind, everybody. False alarm. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways.
Well, I don't.
Oh, okay.
So you really said it to me, and I will get on that.
All right, I will go ahead.
Well, not immediately.
I'll go ahead and pop it over. I mean, don't watch it now because it's 20 minutes, and I don't got that kind of time. But it is fantastic. There is a lot of things that just put it in perspective because a lot of times in history, you learn about these ideas and stuff like very abstractly and like pulled apart in a way that, like, you know, you've heard of Confucius, but who is he? Where did and when and like what was the context of all this stuff that he did? Like you don't know because you didn't see it in relation to the entire rest of the world and what they were up to. And so he drops in like on all these different events that happen everywhere, like
at the same time.
Yeah, he's literally just running through like via the like in chronological order everything that's ever happened.
Wow. That is really cool.
In 20 minutes. It's really fast.
Is he talking really fast?
Pretty fast. I mean, not so fast that you're like, what is he saying? But fast enough where it's like, and obviously he doesn't go into rich detail and everything, but it does help you like put connect all the dots, I would say, and all the stuff that you've like learned in history where you're like, oh yeah, I did learn about that. I had no idea that was that long ago, or like that was in the middle of the Renaissance, or like that was at the same time as the Roman Empire or something.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think that YouTube should be the new school.
Kind of.
Because
I think, here's what I say. I think YouTube already is the new school. Even though old school exists, I think that most people learn most of the things that they learn on YouTube these days.
I think that's what I'm saying. Like, and it could be just because I'm older now, but if I think about it, and there could be something to this. So maybe just as you get older, you want to learn things. Whereas when you're younger, you're like, ugh, I gotta learn things. And so you don't pay attention.
Well, you find out the value of knowledge as you get older. So.
But I have to assume, because I know like a lot of kids look stuff up on YouTube too to learn stuff. And plus, obviously, having YouTube around to learn things is so beneficial because, especially if you're a visual learner, I don't know, it just makes so much more sense when you can visualize everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think old school, as I just mentioned it.
That's like classic.
That's classic. But the previous school, I think that is how kids realize that knowledge has value because it's forced upon them by previous school. Being like, you got to turn in this thing and it's got to be correct or you're going to get in trouble. And then so they're like,
that's value.
Oh my God, let me just Google it. That's the right way to do it. Congrats, kid. You figured it out. You found the hack. And everybody thinks they've figured out the way around the system. Like, I just Googled it. It's like, guess what? That's how we all do anything.
I know. Like, that's life. What if Google went away? What if, like, calculators went away? What if, I don't know.
This is a common theme in programming that, like, oftentimes, like, people just getting started in programming will be like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I'm a real programmer. I'm just Googling everything. I'm like, that's what a real programmer does.
Yeah, probably.
Every solution out there has already been like figured out in some way, or at least there's enough building blocks out there that you don't want to have to like rethink everything. There's probably already a standard and a paradigm out there that you can emulate, at least in some sense. So everything is worth a Google.
Do you think that colleges, well, I mean, obviously there's specialized things that you can't learn online necessarily, but I feel like colleges are in danger because just Google everything.
I think higher education definitely. This is a thing I've definitely seen it crop up more and more lately. Just generally the idea that formalized education, at least in the way we have it, might not be as useful as it was originally designed to be, but it's particularly when it comes to higher education, because that's the point at which it's like, okay, now you're old enough to go get a job, like a real job, and do you need this extra information? Like, obviously there's certain things like being a doctor that you just need.
Right.
You need some kind of
specialized.
I don't even think it's really that you need somebody to teach you as much as like medical schools would have you believe, at least. But it's more just that somebody that definitely does know how to work on a human being can sign off on you being able to work on a human being, right? That can be like, okay, this person is probably not going to kill anybody.
Yeah. Plus, they give like
it's that certification.
Real world. Yeah, and they give you real world experiments, experience, and like obviously for doctors they have to do internships and residencies and all of that. That you can't really get just from learning online. You know. But also, I think one part of school is one benefit I'll say is that when you're trying to teach yourself something online, you're like having to research and you do a lot of like running around to a bunch of different sites and different things, whereas with school it's all compartmentalized in a program and it's all there for you and you just
they lay it out in a straight line.
Yeah, it's like already compiled.
Yeah, a lot of people can feel overwhelmed when they look at like a wealth of knowledge and it's like, if I told you tomorrow like go out and become a programmer, like I know for sure all the information you need is online, but you as somebody not knowing what to even Google to start with can be daunting,
Yeah. But it definitely depends on, I guess, the profession that you're going for. But yeah, I feel like for generalized education, it's totally not worth it. I think you can get by without it.
Yeah, and just I think it's hard to say like what can like a university provide you that an apprenticeship or something like that couldn't, I think like real world experience can be so much more valuable than like a lesson plan that somebody developed like potentially 10 years ago that might not even be really relevant anymore.
It's so true. I agree.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's so many sites online that have specialized schooling for things that you might want to do. Whereas if you go to college, they're going to say, oh, you have to take all of these classes that might not even have anything to do with what you ultimately want to do. Whereas online, you can very narrow, get into a very narrow rabbit hole, I guess, of the things that you want to learn and study, and then you'll be an expert at that thing. And then, but I think a lot of jobs, companies are starting to go away from necessarily requiring, certain degrees and things like that. Obviously they're helpful, but
also like I still think it's useful for people to like dedicate their life to academia and stuff. Like the people that are sponsored, like the kind of sponsorship that a university does to make somebody like a doctorate level of intelligence, and then they basically spend their life like at that university like researching a thing and like figuring out a new way, like a new technology or a new medical thing. I think that could be useful. Right. And I think that it's cool that those kind of institutions still exist, but they might have to rethink how they're making their money, because I don't know if people are gonna pay for that kind of teaching. Or maybe it'll become like it was in, I don't know, like the Renaissance and stuff, where it'll just be like people just of their own accord just decide to spend their whole life developing this thing. And like, I feel like mostly though that was done by rich people who didn't have to work. So we'll see how many of those exist. And if they can, if there's enough of them are intelligent enough to, I like, what are some famous people like Benjamin Franklin and I don't know, like a lot of like the famous chemists and scientists of, like they were born super wealthy and never had to work. And so they had nothing else to do really, because it was, before TV or anything. Like the only thing really entertainment they could get was read. And, why not read academic papers and stuff and become super knowledgeable in something so you can impress your friends. And then, what's this? I think I figured out some way to like cure this disease. And then there you go. Somebody figures that out just because they didn't have to work and could just like as a lone agent just go out on that limb on their own and like figure that out. I don't know how available something like that is to people nowadays. I mean, obviously there's rich people still. I think
there are some people that were not wealthy that developed things, but they didn't become, or their ideas didn't become famous or implemented until like after they died. So yeah, like they had, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one, or maybe, I don't know, but where they weren't necessarily super wealthy.
Most of the issue with, unless they were like really intelligent and they could get a lot done in a short amount of time.
Right.
Like most of the time.
I think that's a big part.
It becomes an issue if, even if you're a really intelligent person that could have like cured cancer, it's like, but if you don't have the money to A, go to medical school, or B, not work and sit at home all day Googling medical things and researching it and figuring out stuff, then yeah, never going to happen.
True. But I think also like, I think boredom has a lot to do with innovation, because kids, like a lot of these people were children and they were just bored and they had nothing to do. So they were like, let me think about designing something or creating something. And then when they got older, they developed it over time and then became, because it could start at a young age too. But I think being highly intelligent is a big factor too, because like you said, if you're able to skip grades or, get through regular school, get that out of the way, then you have time to focus on changing the world, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say one of the most useful skills a person can have is to be comfortable being bored.
Yeah.
Be okay with being bored. Can be useful in a lot of scenarios.
But yeah, I was kind of half joking on the whole, like, college is being taken away, but I do feel like more online learning is becoming such a huge thing that it really does depend like on what you're trying to learn specifically.
Also, it helps with that COVID wake-up call of like, I guess we will learn online, whether we want to or not.
Even that, like, colleges should go to, more online stuff. But again, there's benefit to having hands-on brainstorming with your classmates and, like in person. Ugh, do you remember those group things they made you do? Those things were horrible. Who out there actually enjoyed doing group work, being put on teams.
I don't think it was about you enjoying it. I just think it was about you being able to work on a team.
I mean, everybody did it, but...
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody ever gets eliminated because somebody pulls the weight.
Yeah, I don't think it ever accomplished...
I wonder if they ever...
the goal.
I wonder if they're ever hoping to catch, like, 4 slackers at the same time that all fail. Like, that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's happened. The reason that we are sitting here saying that never happened is because we were the ones that eventually, if it came down to it, would do the work.
Yeah.
But...
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be my example of my counterpoint, I would say, to you saying, well, it could be useful to work things out with your teammates or something. I don't know. So I don't know who you went to school with.
I know. That's so true, though. Like, ugh, group work. But I wonder how the teachers divided it out. If they were like, if they actually like looked at people and were like, he's a slacker, she's an overachiever, she's a creative, he's an intellect, let me put them together and see how they work. Or was it totally random? And it was like, because remember you used to have to count off 1, 2, 2, 1, whatever. And then whoever was a 1 got put in a group, and whoever was a 3.
Oh, yeah, like when you were, I don't know, they did that in like grade school, I guess. But ever since computers, it's just been like, check online to see who's in your team.
Oh, that's before my time, so.
I don't know, they also put on like a bulletin board or something, or they passed out a sheet that had the group.
That's true. Yeah, they did do that.
And you'd be like, okay,
yeah.
Well, I guess I'm with this person.
I don't really think it helped, though. I don't think I work better with people because of that. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just all based on personality. Like, some people are good with working in groups and some people aren't.
I think maybe it's also to just get people to think about group work. Like, you do so much solitary work throughout your, like, educational career. I think maybe it's part of the usefulness is just being like, think about the concept of like you'll have to deal with other people at some point because this is gonna happen.
Yeah, I guess.
And then like sometimes that's not gonna go the way you want, and then but
have you ever had a conflict outside of school? Did you ever have like a conflict with somebody in a job or in a?
Well, people are a lot more motivated when they need to survive off of the money they're making, and also you usually don't. I mean, unless you're in a really small company, there's not like. You don't really see the downsides of somebody else not working unless you're in like management, Yeah. So like if somebody isn't pulling their weight, you're just like, well, you might get fired. It's not really any sweat off your back.
I think that's why I am an independent contractor, because I like working with groups and in a team and stuff like that is just, not to say that I wouldn't be good at it, but it's just, I was actually talking to somebody today about this and we were specifically talking about women, and I'm not trying to say that personally that I think that women are worse employees than men. That's what her argument was. But
okay. Interesting.
But more so, I know. But more so because like the topic of that was just that from experience, women tend to have like bring more drama and were more chatty, and so like it was harder to get work done because it became like difficult. Not that they weren't intelligent or could manage the work or any of that. It was more just like it was more distracting, I guess.
Right.
So where was I going with that? Oh, so yeah. So some of the experience that I've had with work when I worked in actual work jobs was that, whereas I like to really focus on my work and get it done and then leave.
Right.
Like, I don't go to work to do anything else other than that.
I'm the same way.
And so when other people start coming in like my circle and start becoming part of a team where I have to wait for their parts or wait for, I don't know, like I lose the control and therefore it's stressful. So I think that's more of just like a perfectionist control thing, maybe. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Inexorably tied to a team, but thankfully a decent one at the moment. But it's that kind of thing where you are you feel really awkward at times that like people want to I guess get out of that like day-to-day minutia and like want to talk to you and like sometimes like want to branch out, and you just feel like rude or something by focusing on your stuff because you're just like, well, I'm in the middle of something, I don't know, but you don't want to be a jerk, so you're just like, oh, okay, and then you're like kind of like half engaged because you're still like thinking about the thing, and you're just like, this is a weird interaction that I wouldn't need to have like anywhere else, but just part of working with people, I guess. Everybody works a little different.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, I think it's just really hard and that's the thing. It's like it's not that you have anything against those people or like you don't like them because you don't want to talk to them. It's more just like I think also I've learned about myself. I'm very compartmentalized. So I'm a certain, like I have like tasks. Mode. Yeah, work mode. And so
it's like, are we being personable? Hold on, I got to boot something else up and shut down my work mode.
Yeah, I'm not good at transitioning personalities quickly. I'm like, I'm either this or I'm that. I can't be both. So
I just like the idea of you taking off like your hard hat with this very like serious face and then just putting on your party hat and getting a big old smile.
Yes, but like, I can understand.
Fun Lisa's here.
Yeah.
Now no work's gonna get done.
Welcome to the party. And then the office just goes downhill from there because now I'm like trashed Lisa rather than productive Lisa. But
I just imagine like a mix between the party emoji and the crazy emoji with the eyes going in.
Yeah. That's my new work mode.
Working with teammates, working by yourself.
Right. But I've had to learn to adjust a little bit because I do feel like there's a certain level, like you kind of have to bring fun in, or for some people, especially, like I understand the need for making your work fun and like it's a big part of your life. So you don't want it to just be ho-hum, dreary, whatever. But for me, it was never like that. So like work for me was just like work. So I never really felt like I had to enjoy it. And at the time I was like, I just need to get it done.
Right.
But I did, especially when I worked at this job in Gainesville, we went through we had to do a lot of those like, the meetings and the online trainings and the, I don't know, courses and like all the extra stuff that you do when you're in an office. Right. But one of those was I forget what the name of the course was or like whatever, but it was basically talking about how you need to bring the morale up in the office and the way to do that is to add elements of fun. So the office kind of started this whole like team building and like just doing games and things like that. And I was like so confused by this.
What?
I was like, but I can understand mentally how that might make people more productive to take breaks and like have less stress at work. But for me, I don't know. I was like, I do better if I'm just in my hole doing my work. I don't know. I think it's just different for different people.
Yeah.
And actually like the fun elements of it made me less productive because I became so distracted all the time. I was like, okay, what's going to happen next? When is this thing happening? It was too much. So
like I got to be ready for fun mode.
Yeah.
Now it's not a work day. It's a fun day.
Right.
Yeah, my office would have like coding challenges and stuff and like little events and stuff, but I never went to any of those. I'm like, look, I am the most comfortable when I'm alone and no one's talking to me. So there's like varying degrees that I have to go up to like be able to do my job, but we'll go up as far as possible. Or as little as possible.
But I think it also depends on the type of job that you have, because now the job that I have now, I'm working with kids all day, so fun is it's a necessity or else the kids won't work. Whereas before, working in an office, fun wasn't a necessity. It was just like a distraction. So I think part of it is just also the type of work job. But I'm like you, I'm most productive, I'm most comfortable when I'm alone. But there is a huge element to having a happy life if the job that you have is something that you enjoy. Mm-hmm. So I guess you have to find the balance of like enjoyment versus fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you can enjoy your work even if it's not a fun job.
Yeah, you get a sense of satisfaction once you're done. You're like, hey, I did that. All right, bye.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so I don't know. I wonder if other people out there, if they prefer to have fun at work and like little breaks and stuff like that? Or do you like prefer to just get it done and leave? Let us know. I'll put it as a poll on Instagram.
It's also worth mentioning the benefits of being on a team, like being able to go on vacation and not worry that the business or whatever you're responsible for is going to tank.
That's true. Yeah. That is a drawback of being an independent contractor, I will say. Yeah. Vacations are just not helpful.
That's why you gotta strike a nice balance. See, Lisa, become a programmer. No programmers want to spend too much time talking to each other, but we still work effectively on a team by like emails and instant messages, so we don't have to see each other's faces.
That's the one.
And shake hands, touch elbows.
I gotta do. Do you ever like? And I hope you don't like offend people you work with when you say this, but. Okay. Have you ever been in a situation where your work life merges into your afterlife?
My afterlife? Oh my God, am I dead?
No, not that kind of afterlife, like your
I hope
personal
not.
life. No. Let's call it personal life. So your personal life and your work life merge and then it becomes confused because you're like, your work people start wanting to be your friends outside of work, and then it becomes like, now they're part of your personal life and your work life, and now you have that weird.
So the situation being that I was recommended to this position I'm in currently by one of my best friends that also had worked there previously and has a lot of social contacts there, and the bleed over of like occasionally we all get a beer together and there's situations and stuff that the Venn diagrams begin to cross. Yeah.
It gets
a little weird. It's like I never know how comfortable I'm willing to let it go, right? Like like the Venn diagrams can cross an amount, and I'm wondering how far the work life can intersect the personal life until I'm uncomfortable, but I know that I won't know until it happens, and then it'll be too late.
Right. At that point, you're screwed.
Yeah, it's basically
you're in too deep.
I'll know I'm in too deep once I'm there.
Right.
So
what about like office parties and stuff like that outside of work? If it's not on the clock, are you like, nah?
Yeah.
I'd rather just do the things I normally do outside of work. I don't want to start.
It depends on me. Like if they make it worth my while, like if they have some, I don't know, you get some complimentary stuff or something, or like for the office party, it was pretty nice. They did like a thing and you got a hotel stay and, obviously free meal and everything. And it was pretty cool.
Right.
It was a very nice event and it was pleasant to be there. So I would say that the, like something like that feels worth it, because then it's like, oh, well, you just like, it's a party and this is like kind of like the bait to draw everyone together. And then you can be like, okay, this is the one time a year where we're like outside of work and we can be a little more like, oh, so you're a human with a life. What's that like?
Yeah. Okay. So you can kind of bond.
Yeah.
And then when you bond, they're like, hey, we should do this more often and come out with me tomorrow night.
And you're like, wow, I would love to do that next Christmas.
Next year.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be great. And same place, same time? Cool.
Yeah, right. I wonder if more or less people prefer to do that, to like keep their work separate from their personal life. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I assume there's varying degrees, right? There's a spectrum. There's probably some people who are like, oh, I would never cross my, my work with my social life. Well, my best friend does work with me, but other than that.
Yeah. Well, that's why you say that, because my best friend and I met at a job. Like we worked together, and we became friends. And then I left the job, and then we stayed friends, and we're still friends. So yeah,
Can happen.
I don't know, but I like normally that would never happen. And honestly, the only reason it did happen was because she played hardcore. She was like, "You're going to be my friend." So I don't know why you're fighting this. Thank God for her, because
she was like, give up, stop resisting. And you're like, stop resisting what? And she's like, exactly. And then you were friends.
Exactly. Resistance is futile.
Well, I mean, if somebody can come to terms, if somebody can like know you in that context and be okay with like you potentially being disengaged while at work, you know, they can get used to that.
Well, I will say, I'm just not good at making friends in general. That's why I have no friend. Like, she's really my only friend. I mean, I have like you know how you have like branched off friends where they're kind of more like associates,
right?
Where it's like they're your friend, but you don't really hang out too much, and
it's almost like a peripheral, if you will.
Yeah, like a peripheral friends.
Sure.
Like I have those, but I don't have like close friends, and I never really made the attempt to do so. And
who needs them? Yeah. That's what I say.
Well, I do.
As long as you have one person to play human fall flat with, you're good. And there you go. You got one friend.
I'm in a position in my life now where I need friends because nobody will play card games with me. Nobody's going to play tennis with me. Nobody's playing. I want to go bouldering. Nobody's doing that with me.
Oh, you want to go bouldering?
And yeah, like I want to get bouldering in my life and tennis.
COVID, but after COVID, let's go bouldering.
All right, we should.
Is that expensive? That's got to be expensive, right?
I don't know. It's kind of like
there's got to be like a gym with a bunch of special equipment, or do you just want to go to a boulder?
No, no.
I don't think there's.
I mean, I have gone rock climbing before. I did do rock climbing in Minnesota. That was really fun. But
did you die?
I'm still here to tell the tale, so no.
I don't know. You could be astral projecting. I think Discord has that feature now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, that could be me. I'm not going to give away the ending yet.
Okay.
We'll
Good.
have to wait and see. But speaking of mountains, because that's where you got proposed. I
got proposed. Yep.
You got proposed in a mountain. You proposed in the mountains on your summer vacation.
The mountains, everybody. The mountains.
Well, it's the mountains for us because it goes the same mountains every year. Okay,
Is it the Poconos?
I wish.
Is it the Rockies?
I want to see the Rockies.
Is it the Swiss Alps?
Yes, we should do that.
Is it what mountain range is Everest a part of? There's a name for it. I don't know. Is it
I've also been thinking a lot about pickleball.
Of course, pickleball.
Pickleball.
Oh, pickleball. Oh,
yeah,
move to the villages. There's so many clubs. You'll make so many friends so quick.
Actually, they do have its pickleball team here at my in my neighborhood. And my next door neighbor, he keeps asking me to play. He's like, we need better pickleball players. We need younger pickleball players, basically.
For the uninitiated, my joke earlier about her moving to the villages is that's where all the old retired people are.
Exactly. But I don't know. Anyways, but I looked into it, and there's different levels. And I am a beginner. I've never played pickleball before.
Oh, I'm a level 12 pickleball.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you need to teach me pickleball. And why aren't you playing pickleball with me?
Mainly because I've never played it before. But if I did, I'd be a 12.
Oh, so you are, in your mind, you've already propelled yourself beyond.
Yeah, it's on my vision board.
Oh, right. Okay. I need to get one of those.
Yeah, see?
I suck at everything.
Yeah, just put it on a vision board.
Just, right, and then I'm a genius.
And then you're golden.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the mountains. I don't know why I switched back.
The mountains.
Just
the Blue Ridge Mountains.
The Smoky Mountains. Okay, that's where you went. Yep. Smoky Mountains. Cool. Okay. So my question was, let me check our time really fast because I feel like we've been going forever, and I have so many questions about this.
All right.
And I'm wondering if I should make it another podcast or if we should just keep going.
Oh, make it another podcast. Yeah, like start a new podcast, not the No Kidding podcast. It'll be the questions about my engagement podcast.
Okay. So, actually, it's not about your engagement, but I mean, I want to know more about that. But I don't know if you want to share with the people everything there is to know about it. Like, how did you spend your engagement day? Because you did it really early in the morning, and it was beautiful. And I saw the pictures. Oh, you want to tell them about it? Like how beautiful it was? Gorgeous.
So, I mean
yeah.
I didn't really. I was more just trying to figure out what she was excited about, and that's one of the things that kept coming up. I mean, mountaintop engagement. Come on, that's pinnacle. To inadvertently make a pun. That is really the best you can get. And I was thinking about, different mountaintops. Most of the time, it usually is a very long and sweaty journey to get to the top of a mountain.
Right.
But there is a particular mountain within the Smoky Mountains mountain range. It's actually the highest point of the mountain range that you can drive to. And she was quite excited about the idea of going there to watch the sunrise. And it was actually just the perfect scenario because as the name precludes, it is a smoky mountain range. This term smoky comes from all of the clouds, low cloud coverage that is in the area. All those clouds during the night actually like fall down and as fog cover the valley floors. And so when the sun rises, the clouds actually like rise up with it. So it's actually pretty freaking awesome to go up there right before sunrise and see all the clouds laying on the valley floor below you. And then as the sun rises, you get this amazing view of just the entire skybox around you with the clouds layering the floor to the point where it looks like you were just standing on a flying rock, essentially, overlooking like essentially the vista you get from a plane, of the entire world blanketed by clouds. It's pretty epic.
That sounds majestic.
And as time goes on, that's obviously where you got to pop the question because the sun is coming up, just peeking over the clouds there, casting its glorious rays across the pillowy vastness of cloud coverage, and
the start of a new day and a new life together.
Start of a new life, of course. And after I was ecstatically acquiesced to my request, we ended up walking up because it's a short little walk up to the tippy toppy point. And as we were walking up there, the whole cloud coverage, as I said, rises with the moon or with the sun. So essentially it just became totally foggy, and it was pretty epic because there's all these trees and everything around there in the forest. And we just kind of sat down, had breakfast in the ethereal fog, as it were.
You ate breakfast there too?
Well, we got there at sunrise, so yeah, you gotta give it.
Like you brought breakfast with you?
Yeah, a little picnic, a little cute picnic, and some berries up there on top of the mountain, and yeah, I just went up to the I ended up going up to the like observation tower they have to overlook the mountain range. Yeah, we ended up going up there just about the time that the cloud coverage lifted. So we got the unobstructed view of the mountain ranges and the valley floor and everything below. It's pretty awesome.
It sounds like it was like the perfect day.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty epic that it worked out that way. I had a few backup plans just in case anything went wrong.
Nice.
You never know if something's going to rain or if there's going to be it's going to be, I don't know, the clouds would already be up and it'd just be foggy and you couldn't see anything, which honestly was kind of cool too. But, I'm just totally blessed that it worked out exactly the way it did. Meant to be.
And that she said yes.
Yeah, that was just honestly shot in the dark. I kind of feel like I pulled one over on her. So, what a fool. But she's a fool for me, so love her.
Aw. Wow, you're spilling the tea. You've got all good
give me a napkin.
Juicy details.
Okay, so what did you really want to ask me about?
No, that was really cool. And then you spent the rest of the day just hiking mountains and you're up in the clouds.
Yeah?
Like, that's a pun, though, because I meant in your head, not in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, when I heard, I was like, what? Honestly, I was so happy. I couldn't have been happier, to be honest. I don't think I've been that happy in a long time.
Well, I'm glad to give you an epic day as well.
Yeah, you did. You made everybody happy, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
Of course. What do you mean?
I mean, because you've been together for 10 years, right?
Uh-huh.
Was your 10-year anniversary, I think.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, you're like two peas in a pod. You're like besties. So you would think you wouldn't be that nervous, but...
Well, it's not really will she say yes or no that's the worrying part. It's the like, there's a buildup, right? It's like at the end of Game of Thrones when people were disappointed. It's like, how do you end such an amazing segment? It's like at that point you got to make it good.
Epic, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we're not just like, why don't we do something crazy and get married? And she's like, will she say yes? I don't know. It's more like we have already become, we've already reached the point at which we're beyond the next stage almost, but it's time to make that leap. So, got to make it grand when you do that.
I guess that's true. And then also knowing, like, you're closing a chapter and opening a chapter.
Exactly. It's like now there's a whole new segment of our lives to be explored. Yeah,
the next expectation or whatever. Well, I guess you don't have to have expectations, but yeah, that's because it's always interesting to get the guy's perspective, but because you always hear the girl's perspective, it's just like, I mean, unless the girl proposes, so that happens too, but not just with proposing, but also like asking a girl out for the first time or something, you know, like, I guess then you have a little bit more pressure of her saying no, yes or no, but but yeah, I mean, just it's got to take a lot of guts. I mean, to be the one to pull that trigger, I guess. I don't know.
Well, of course, we've over the course of 10 years, it might have come up if we were interested in marriage, but
sure,
pretty confident in the question itself. Just how to ask it is the.
But I mean, like have the pressure to be the one to.
Right, and there's more things to be put in place than just asking the question. Of course. Certain individuals that need to be involved and planning that needs to occur, secretive purchasing of fine jewelry and so forth.
Yeah, it's quite the process. Nice.
Well worth it.
Well, yeah, I'm excited. I'm so happy for her too because now she's like going to be officially my sister, and that's exciting.
Officially.
And yeah, because I already consider her my sister-in-law, so but I mean, it'll be, I guess, on paper she'll have, is she taking, I don't know, maybe you don't want to talk about that, but if she was taking your name, then we'd have the same name, so
you could go to the police and be like, excuse me, we are legally sisters,
we're legally related,
and then they'll be like, no one asked.
But it's important to me. Lady, put down that drink. Nobody cares.
And step out of the vehicle.
But we're related. Yeah, awesome. So that's really exciting, and it's so you're just like the best. You really are. And I wish
is this the gushing about us part of the podcast?
It is. Like, you guys are the best.
So this is why you're making sure there was a half hour left. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure that I could get it in there.
All right.
And not just like you together are the best, but you apart are the best too. So it's like,
so you were wishing for us to break up because it's equally it's great.
You're better together, like the Jack Johnson song, but I'm just saying as individuals you're awesome. So obviously together you're double awesome. But just that how much you guys care about each other and do things like that. Like, you took the time to actually, make it special and think about what she wanted. And I don't know. I'm sure it doesn't need to be said. You're just awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking about just like one day kicking in the door and be like, hey, want to get married to me?
You and me. We're doing this. Get in the car.
Bring the shotgun.
Yeah.
Pull around the drive-through wedding line. Is that only in Vegas?
Yeah. Yes, it is, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to do something a little more special than that to honor the 10 years of amazing adventures so far and the prospect of everything to come. But yeah, it's going well so far. Hopefully there's no COVID complications.
True. Do you guys feel different?
Knocking on wood. Oh, I don't want to do that because it's diabolical.
No. Do you feel different? Do you feel like
dude, I'm a
different
fancy
person? You're fancy now, right?
Yeah, I'm a fancy fiancé.
You're a fancy fiance.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm a French man now.
You should take it. You should. Oh, chanté. You should really savor it for as long as you can. just like that.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot more sense about why you ditched us for the mountain trip.
Oh, I see. I see where this is going. Okay, stage 2. Stage 2.
No, I'm glad it worked out that way. I am. I'm glad.
Yeah, can you imagine if I was just like, hang on, I'm gonna peel off here?
No. But it's good to do things like that on your own anyways, even if it wasn't for that reason. So
yeah, sometimes you just gotta have a little you and her time, or you and him time.
Yeah, sure.
However you prefer.
So, what I was saying with that was like, it must have been like the best, most epic summer vacation you've ever been on.
Pretty great. Up there, I would definitely say. It is just nice to experience the mountains, and I think any vacation becomes a lot more agile when there's just like, because you never want to go on a vacation by yourself, right? That's kind of boring.
I mean, I've done it.
Well, I just said that to not sound like a weirdo, but that honestly be probably pretty great.
Okay.
But just having Larvin there makes it so much better, and it was so great too, because you become so much more nimble when there's just 2 people, and you can like make decisions really quick on the fly. And you can just be like, I want to do this. All right, you want to do that? Let's do it.
Exactly.
You just kind of
totally agree.
Live in the moment, and as you decide, you wake up in the morning, you're like, I want pancakes today, and there's this little pancake pantry down in Gatlinburg. Swing by and get some pancakes.
That makes me so jealous, because that's that's one of the things that I wanted to do, and we never got to do it.
Pancake pantry?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they have butter. Let me tell you.
Oh, they have butter. Well, then sign me up.
No, that place is good.
I know, but
they also have not Pancake Pantry, but Gatlinburg in general, moonshine distilleries. They're all over the place now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that.
up and down the street. Sometimes multiple
any?
ones of the same brand. Yeah, of course I went to some. Come on, they have $5 tastings. You can taste. They also open so many wineries. There's even a cider place and a mead place. And all these places, you can just pay like $5 and get samples of everything on their menu. And let me tell you, you get pretty drunk off just $5 at each place. I bet.
It's kind of like the bar hopping when I was younger.
Yeah, but it's like you just go and drink something like thimble sized.
Right.
And then you're like, whoa, look at me. Whoa. I'm Ripley's now. And then you get on a ski lift and go to Anastasia.
Oh, did you go to that?
Anakista.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I wanted to do that too, but it was fun.
It was a thing. Lervin was not about it. Not really.
No?
Not really about the heights in the mountains.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm excited to see where you end up, like where you're going to be having your wedding and stuff.
It'll be something.
I know. And what year and what day and all of that. I'm excited to hear all of it.
2077.
Okay, yeah, I'll be dead then, but I'll appear in spirit. So
won't be dead by 2077.
I will be a hologram.
By the way, I keep referencing that date because Cyberpunk 2077 is such a highly anticipated game right now.
Cyberpunk
2077.
So that's a whole new game. You're like unloading the games here.
Yeah, this is a new game. It's not even out yet. It's coming out like November, I think. Yeah, this is what everybody's stoked about right now. Super hyped, that game.
It's hype, so it's not going to live up to the hype?
Well, that's what people say.
It looks like...
I mean, we can't really control when people are like, oh my god, this is going to be the best thing that's ever existed on the face of the earth. And then somebody's like, it's only a really good game. I hate it.
I mean, why do they do that? Why do they hype it up? Because, it's never going to live up to that expectation. Nothing ever does.
Well, because people really want the perfect game.
I guess that's true.
Have you ever heard of Star Citizen? Whew.
No.
Oh, well, it's the game that's made the most money in history, and it's not even released yet.
Oh, nice.
Because they did a crowdfunding campaign and basically promised a crazy awesome game that may or may not be possible, depending on who you ask. And everyone and their mother paid for it. And they made like $9 billion. Like, no joke.
Oh my gosh,
I'm not
really?
exaggerating. And they keep doing more and more crowdfunding and being like, we're going to add a bunch of new stuff. And it's basically this thing where people are like, can they even actually come out with the game ever at this point? They promised so much stuff.
What if it's that place? What was it? Like there was this event that was held and they raised all this money.
Fire Festival?
Yeah, it's going to be like that.
Some people definitely think that that's where it's going.
Oh man!
But honestly, they do have like there's like a beta edition out now, and it already looks pretty cool. I mean,
okay.
I'd say the movement's a little janky and some stuff's a little weird, but it is like super early. I mean, It's like 3 years after the original thing, but yeah,
launch date.
Yeah, at this point they've promised like we're going to simulate the real universe. So I mean, we'll have to give them a couple extra years for that at least. Yeah, it's nuts.
So all of the gamers' moms' money will be well spent in the end, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, that was the insulting thing you wanted to say about gamers.
Yeah, I did. That, like their parents have to pay for everything. They're still living at home. Yeah.
It's actually, if that game is what it says it would be the perfect game. So.
The perfect game, though?
Perfect game.
Okay. Are you going to get it? Let me ask you this. Did you already put money into it?
I'm trying to remember if I did. No.
That's true. Like, I've pre-ordered books before and completely forgot that I did. I'm like, oh, did I already pre-order that? I don't know.
I mean, honestly, it's like the level of detail that they go into on everything is nuts. Like, the fact that, like, they did a demo recently where they have, like, their whole thing is that the whole entire universe in this game actually exists. And is like, you can travel to all these planets and stuff, and they're like real life-size, like not 1/4 scale planets, like they're entire planets, because they basically are like they're like systematically generated. So as you fly around the planet, like it's able to like fill in stuff because it's all like voxel based. Like It builds the planet like ahead of the player as they fly. And like at the time that you're say as part of the game, you get a call from somebody. Like another character in the game world, and like it's futuristic, so they come up as like a hologram. Like if your friend is where that character is, they can actually like bump into that character, and like you'll see them doing that on the other end of the call, essentially. Cool. Like that character is actually somewhere in the world being projected as they are into where you're standing. Wow. And like there's so much like little details like that is like so crazy what they're building in the game. Like there's so many like ways that you can interact with the spaceships and stuff to like do different controls, and it's nuts. It's crazy.
I wonder if they're getting to a point where it's taking so long that they like new stuff is getting developed, like new you know how technology advances, so there's new advancements, and they're like, oh dude, we could do this now, let's scratch all this and start from there, and then it just takes longer and longer because they keep catching up with the new.
They actually recently switched, and they switched the whole game engine they were working on.
See,
because Amazon came out with Lumberyard, which is like basically Amazon's game development kit. Funny. And so they were like, oh well, we're gonna use this, and then it was like it's funny because you realize why now, because what they were using was Cryengine, and now Crytek is suing them because they weren't like paying the licenses that they were due. So
well man, they're in a lot of trouble.
It's a whole thing, but
it's a whole drama.
If they actually make that game, it'd be pretty dope.
It sounds cool, yeah. I mean, as far as games go,
they couldn't possibly honestly make it to the degree that they've promised, but even a fraction of it'd probably be pretty cool.
Yeah. By the time it comes out, the people who wanted to buy it will be like too old, and
exactly. The thing is, they're going to outplay people's attention span.
Yeah.
So they're going to get all this money, and then they're going to spend forever making it, and then by the time it's actually coming out, there'll probably be a bunch of other games that are already on the same level, because technology will have increased to the point where it's like, oh yeah, we simulate entire universes in games all the time. And then they'll just release it silently, and then people go, oh yeah, that was kind of like going to be the first one of these, but now it's just coming out.
Yeah, Weird. That's funny.
Did you hear about the new NVIDIA graphics cards.
No?
They're 2 times as good as the last generation. The cheapest NVIDIA graphics card that's going to come out next month is going to outperform the most expensive one on the market right now. So the $500 card's going to outplay like the $2,000 card.
Okay.
Can you believe it?
Yeah. Maybe only because, like, things have to evolve, and I feel like that's just the evolution, right?
It's the largest generational gap that NVIDIA has ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're a little worried because it's probably
it's got to be expensive, though, then.
Well, that's the thing. They made it so efficient that they can make it cheaper. So their cheapest card is more expensive than their most premium card right now. And everyone's making fun of everybody who bought the like super premium card for like $2,000 like probably a month ago, and then now there's a card coming out next month that's like a fourth of the cost and more powerful.
Wow.
So people are like panic selling their graphics cards right now, and it's probably going to set off like a whole bit mining war again, because people are going to want to mine Bitcoin with these things because there's going to be a huge market correction. It's going to be nuts.
Wow. Have you heard this whole thing about how people are saying that currency, or like basically currency, and well, no, maybe not currency, but like the money exchange is not going to exist in the future? How eventually we're not going to need to pay for things with monetary things like cash or whatever. Like
it'll just be creds. Oh, it's 2077.
I guess. I don't really know, but
like, is it universal money or is it not money?
Yeah, I think it's just universal. It's just like maybe it is like cryptocurrency. I don't know, but I don't see how that's possible. I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
Questions for the future. I need to meet somebody from the future and ask them these things because
get in your holodeck.
Well, I can't go to the future in my holodeck.
Sure,
not
you
the
could.
Not the real future.
Yeah, it just won't be the real future.
So I can't ask the real questions. Okay. I was going to just say because I was going to launch into like summer stuff, but I also kind of feel like we don't have time to do that.
All right.
So maybe
summer stuff. What is summer stuff?
So like your favorite things about summer as a kid, like 3 things that you loved as a kid when you were when it was like summer. I
can already tell you number 1. That's easy. No school.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Mm-hmm. And on the same vein, number 2 is having more time.
Time, okay.
And then number 3 is not having to do homework.
No school, no homework, and more time.
Right. They're very separate things, but they're the same.
So how is it different than like Christmas vacation or...
It's longer.
Okay, true. It is longer.
Honestly, like, I feel kind of weird because, I went to, obviously through regular public school, always having a summer vacation. And then I went through college, which I gave myself a summer vacation most of the time. I mean, yeah, I did some, like, summer semesters, but you just do them online and it feels pretty much like summer vacation.
Yeah.
And then now... in like my first year of my career, COVID hit right during summer. So
you got lucky.
I've never experienced like a not summer vacation, and I'm kind of dreading it. So I'm glad it was put off 1 year. I'm really enjoying this.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I'm hoping, a honeymoon will break up next.
Ah, there you go. That's the whole reason you got engaged.
Yeah,
right there.
That was it.
You need an excuse for summer.
It's all plotted. Please come to celebrate in our matrimony and excuse for summer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm there. It's like I need an excuse to have summer. But that's only going to be a week.
Yeah. Wow. What are you going to do?
So, yeah. You got to take a month.
Yeah, I'll just have to use all of my PTO.
There you go. Just for summer.
just to maintain summer as a thing.
Right. But that's one thing is like the trade-off is you can kind of take time throughout the year, but I guess you could kind of do that anyway with school, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the kind of thing where it's like I've never not had that time to recharge at home, you know.
Right. That's going to be tough for you then. But
Yeah.
you'll get through it.
Well, no, I won't, because it'll just keep being work forever, for all time, without any
Forever and
breaks.
ever. Until you retire.
Exactly.
If you retire.
Here
Some
we
people
go.
don't retire.
Maybe I'll create a new superbug every year, and we'll just summers will become don't get a virus time.
That is so morbid.
Just
don't tell people that.
Just so I can have a vacation. People's well-being.
Now you know who to blame. If
China.
If the next couple years. No. Call him up. I'll dox him. If we get another pandemic next year,
wow.
It's not COVID.
Gonna dox me? Whoa.
I'm doxing you.
I'm gonna swat you. Watch out.
Hey, can't do that.
Hey now, none of that.
Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
It's only funny when it's not me.
How fun would it be to get swatted though?
I'd be kind of cool, to be honest. I mean, terrifying momentarily, but it'd be a good story to tell.
All right.
Anyways, I have a lot of more summer questions, but, I don't know. Summer vacations, summer activities, summer foods, summer games, and we had a listener request for some questions. I might have to put off for another episode. So.
Oh, no. The request denied.
I know. Request denied. But we'll get there. Don't worry. It's on the list.
All right. Well, this was something. I don't know.
Just another
deep dive in the mental ongoings
of our minds.
Yeah.
A distraction from your life that may have been good and may have been torturous. Who knows?
Right.
But we appreciate you listening if you've made it this far.
Are you going to watch Avatar? Here's the question.
I'm going to have to tell myself yes. So that
Wait, so you haven't already watched Avatar since the last episode? What is your problem?
Because I don't have a vision board. That's my problem.
That's it. Because I'm building to the question. I need to know what kind of bender you would be.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is like, what Harry Potter house are you?
Oh, there's multiple ones. See, but okay, we've talked about this. I feel like I've watched some of this with you a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like when you were young.
But is it present enough in your mind now that you can answer this question?
No.
So you're useless to me, Lisa. Jesus.
Okay then, and with that,
everybody go out, watch History of the World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz.
Yes.
Again, because you already have. It says 100 million views.
You guys need to do something epic with your life, like make a big change. Don't be afraid.
Put it on a vision board.
Make it epic and magical.
Be more like Oliver.
Be more like Andrew. Do it above the clouds. Keep your head in the clouds and make a vision board. And
keep your head in the clouds. Make a vision board. And if anybody says that you're wrong and tries to show you facts, say, "Nay, I refute thee."
Nay, it's on my board. It's happening. That's your pump up for the day. Take your power back. Actually, that's my pump up for next week. So.
Oh, okay.
Hang on to that. That's going to be the next week. Take your power back. Summer updates or summer questions. And what's the deal with hot dogs?
Now, what's your riddle for this week?
Because
you did the riddle for last week first.
Yeah, you did put me on the spot there, didn't you?
Oh, no.
Okay. That's okay. I'll find you a riddle real quick.
Okay.
Really quick. Okay.
So have you played the Untitled Goose Game since I told you about it an hour ago?
Yeah, I've been playing this whole time I've been talking.
Oh, good. So you're a few.
Okay. Very confusing. What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years?
That is a weird review of Untitled Goose Game.
Yes, well, that's how I feel about it, and I'm not changing my mind.
Okay. Maybe you should play it for the first time.
I like to have opinions before I play things, but okay.
That's a good point. Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, that's welcome to the gaming community. You're Welcomed with open arms.
Official.
And clenched fists.
I just imagine somebody hugging me with open arms and clenched fists.
I just imagine they're scowling at the same time.
It's like they kind of love you, but they hate you at the same time.
They're a bunch of lovable nerds throwing a temper tantrum.
There you go. That's right. Yeah, I don't want to offend any, like, I know I always say that, like gamers or whatever, but
they're all a bunch of little babies. Let's be honest. They're all a bunch of little suckers. Little suckers. You all sucking up those EA games, and then you just complain that they exist.
And then you yell at ESPN. Oh, wait, no, that's the sports guys.
Yeah, same guys, though.
Same guys, just...
Honestly, kindred spirits, just other different sides of the same coin.
There you go. So true.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in.
Actually, I have a lot more, but we don't have time, so...
Well...
Come back, because we have plenty more to talk about.
Well, actually, if you hit next, the next episode is probably out, so then you can listen to what Lisa has.
Yeah, just binge. Binge us.
So, yeah. Binge us. We're very bingeable.
Don't purge.
Yeah, gross. Body dysmorphia is a real thing. Seek help if you have it. And, love y'all. Love you. Bye-bye.
We love you. Bye-bye.
To be continued.
Good work. High five.
I know, right? We did so good. We're amazing. We are the best.
We are the best. Oh my gosh. We are the coolest podcasters in the world.
I don't even know why there are other podcasts.
I don't even know why there are other people
in the world.
We're the greatest.
Oh, we are really all we need.
We're just us,
We can only be us. There's only one us, and we're the best of that.
We're the best at being us, that's for sure.
That's true.
And other people should be better.
They really should be more like us, but...
They should be better at being us, but they're not.
I don't know.
That's why they're the way they are.
And that's why we made a podcast, so that we could...
It's a tutorial, really.
It really is. It's like, come on, guys. Love us, believe in us, and...
Trust us.
Should I go so far as to say worship us?
Well, I think you might be onto something. Let's start a cult.
Yes, the cult's coming soon. Wait, don't tell people. Because isn't a whole part of being in a cult, like, they don't know they're in a cult?
Yeah, they're worshiping God, but you are his instrument, and thus they need to worship you.
So listen to what we say.
You are just a humble servant that deserves all of their money and praise. Welcome to the No Kidding podcast, where we will accept your donations and
your life
devotion to our cause, which is all good things to all good people. But we need everything you own to do that. So hand it over.
Everything you own, including your children.
And also weird sex stuff. We haven't decided what yet, but it'll be... we're still beta testing. We'll roll that out at a later time. That's a future feature, as they say. We haven't decided what, but we're sure it's going to be weird.
It's going to be very obnoxiously weird.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
I love you. Bye-bye.